Please welcome Samantha Smith.
To my brother, my protector, my guide, who thought he was my daddy, and it's okay. I just first want to say thank you. Thank you for loving me unconditionally, for never judging me, for having my back always, anytime. No matter what you was doing, I could call you in a panic. You could be at the studio working. You're going to answer my call, and you're going to talk to me for however long I need to talk. And you're not going to tell me what I need to hear. I mean, you're not going to tell me what I want to hear. You're going to tell me what I need to hear. You know, everything that I done ever went through, thank you for letting me stay with you countless amounts of times. Thank you for loving my son like you love my son and taking us in and holding us down. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the intimate moments and just keeping it real with me and letting me know what it is I need to do and telling me when I'm wrong and telling me when I'm going in the wrong direction. You were and you are my superhero. You forever gonna be my superhero. I still feel safe. I feel more fearless now that you're gone because I know you with me all the time. I just thank you, man. You built me, you made me the woman I am, and I'ma hold Sam down. Sam, I love you. I got you forever. You know, it's us now, and it feels crazy. I've never been on this world without Armius. I came here when he was already here, so it feels crazy to be left without him, but I know he around. I know he here now. He talking to me, and I'm listening, and I'm going to do everything he needs to do. I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to do everything I need to do, I promise, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. When your album was about to come out, and we sat in a car, and we drunk 1942, and we got faded and just sat there and talked for like 2 hours about just life and everything. I remember everything you said, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for texting me back to back to back these last couple weeks, just telling me you love me, and you miss me, and you got me, and you with me always, and whatever I need, I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to just make you proud, and I love you. You're amazing. This world was blessed to have someone so iconic walk and do what you did. You changed the game, and I know without a doubt in my mind, everybody is gonna move different because of you. You know, you were 33 when you was taken from this world, and that's not a coincidence. Jesus died at 33. You was our Jesus. You was put down here to wake people up, to inspire people, to talk to them in a way that they could receive it. You know, you was the face of that. You no matter what went on, you didn't fall, you didn't change up. You know, most people fall because they can't weather the storm, and no matter what the storm was, you stood up with your head up, and you faced it, and I'm going to keep my head up, and I'm going to face everything. I'm going to do everything I need to do in your name, and I love you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you, and we're going to keep it going forever. I love you, Hermes.
We molded ourselves after the positive people that wasn't on drugs, that wasn't alcoholics, the hustlers, basically. And so they didn't have to really even say anything to us. They demonstrated with action. And, you know, Nip that's what Nip was about. Nip was about demonstrating and coming back that people could walk up, touch, see, and you know, he appreciated, whether he said it or not, the pats on the back, and it meant a lot to him. Bro, keep doing your thing, man. We appreciate what you're doing. You making it look good. You know, you putting us on the map. You know, that shit meant a lot to him, and that shit meant a lot to me from everybody who did that. And you know, like you said, if I die today, I made the set proud, nigga. You made the world proud. You know, look at this shit, bro. This shit, you know, the whole family appreciates everything, and my grandma, you know, she loved him to death, and he loved her to death, and you know, I know she was already proud, but she can't even believe the news and the people calling and just the love that the people feel about bro. You know, is one thing that I know he's happy about also. Just the family understanding what he meant to everybody else is very big. I don't want to be long-winded, man. I just you know, maybe I'll tell you some things maybe you didn't know about Nip, man. Us growing up, you know, he came home. I think I was already 3 when he came home. So, you know, I got whooped a couple times when I'm in the room and my mom came in and he's crying. I got whooped. So, you know, that was my little bro, man, and I just try to do as much as I could to lead a good example and make sure that he was good, you know. You know, I hope you know I loved him and I was proud of him, and you know, I know he loved me, man, and many a times, you know, growing up. Remember the first time I got into it, I mean, we was fighting all the time, but the first time I got into a fight and got knocked out, man, it was on 60th, and I got knocked unconscious. And as I'm waking up, you know, Nip, younger than me, is pushing the guy, fighting him down the block. You know, I jump back up and run up, but you know, I just knew, you know, I always knew, but I said, all right, you know, bro held it down when I was out, so for sure, you know. And he was like that at all times, man, just growing up. You know, we had a little crew on 60th Street, and we would try to hustle up money, water lawns, shovel the neighbors' dog shit in the back, wash cars, for whatever we could get. And we would work hard all day, and it seemed Nip would just put in 10 minutes and come back with $200-300, and we couldn't believe the shit. We like, man, I've been working 12 hours for $15 and you can hit the block with 200. You know, he always had a scheme. He was always so intelligent and charismatic. And as you can see in the pictures and the slideshows, man, he always had a bright smile on his face. And, you know, he walked in the room and he was he took over the room. He took control of the room and just positive. You know, people came to him since a young age. Even when we first had this first shop, Sloss and Tees, me and Fats and Nip, you know, Adam, we used to always say, soon as Nip pull up, you know, we didn't want all the homies hanging out in the front. You know, soon as Nip pull up, he's there for 10 seconds. I don't know, phone calls is being made, the whole hood is there. It's 100 niggas in the front, 20 guns, and, you know, we just knew that about Nip, man. He just, he attracted people. People were attracted to Nip, and you know, he always was positive. And I think he just inspired a lot of people, man. So that's one of the things. I got so many stories, man. Nip built our first computer. My grandfather really bought our first computer. We ended up breaking it, throwing it away. And then as we got older, when we wanted a computer, Nip would come home from school with a backpack full of computer parts. and we shared a room, and we shared bunk beds. I was a little older, OCD. I used to, hey, we cleaning up today. He would get pissed off, like, you ain't going nowhere. You helping me clean the room. And he brought these computer parts, and I'm like, man, we can't keep these in this room. He like, nah, I'm gonna build a computer. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of here, man. He's like 12 years old. I'm like, man, a computer back then to me was like rocket scientist. So I'm like, there's no way. Get this shit out of here. And he came back the next day with another piece of a computer. Came back. It took him about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and we just had all computer parts, loose parts on the floor. And he went to a computer auction and bought a case and bought a power supply. And I came home one day, he had the magazine that my grandfather had bought, computer magazines, and he had the computer and it was working, and he turned it on, and I could not believe this. He had built the computer and it was working. And, at that point, I was just amazed, and I really was mind-boggled. I just, I was proud of him, and my mom, everybody, we couldn't believe it. And people in the family were coming over and was so astonished that his IQ, or just that he was able to do something like this. Later on, a couple years later, he ended up getting software and being able to record music on that computer. And I remember coming and hearing something that he recorded at a young age, and I couldn't believe that. I was amazed once again. I had to pull him to the side. I said, bro, did you write this? And he said, yeah. And man, it was so complex and something that amazed me again. I came home the next day, I started writing. I said, shit, if bro did it, shit, let me see. Man, I must have wrote for 2 weeks, and I threw all that away. I said, okay, it skipped me. This is a real story. So I told him from there, you're special, just whatever I can do, we believe. And moving fast forward, and as he became, a teenager, 16, 17, 18, I'm seeing the route, and I try to do as much as I could to, keep him out of the front line and keep him out of the streets and out of the gangbanging as much as I could, but it really was nothing I could do. And only thing that, while I'm trying to get money and hustling, I was in my head like, only thing we may be able to do is help get this music career going, because I felt that was the only avenue, and that was the only thing he wanted to move toward. And I remember one of my goals was just anything I could do to help finance or help match him with, or put my head together with, that was going to be one of my goals. So to see where he took it, and just trying to make something legit for him to have, he ended up actually making something legit for me to have, and for us to have something legit, something inspirational to attach ourselves to, and not have to be doing something illegal, or just to see the things that he did, the music, the people that he inspired, us having the shop, people coming from all over the world, man. I said, tell him it's mind-boggling, man. It's like the Field of Dreams, he built something, and the people are coming, paying homage like a Mecca. They coming from all over the world, all over the country. And, it's something so special. And, I was talking to him, and we were so heartbroken that Fats wasn't around to see the album come out. So I just couldn't understand how, after all this, bro, go out like this, man. It just really don't make sense. Really don't make sense. And, it's changed everything I thought I understood, it got to be something past this, man, for bro to go out like that. But last thing I'm gonna say is, I'm proud of bro. He always looked out and always wanted other people to go. It wasn't just about him getting there. He'd been fly since a young age. It wasn't about that. It was about bringing it back and inspiring and building. And he had so many plans and he had so many people that he wanted to involve in his plans. And it was getting there. We bought the lot, man, but I don't know how we did it. And that was a big thing for bro, man, because he used to sell CDs out the trunk. He used to be in that parking lot, and they used to try to kick him out of the lot. And y'all know what we went through with the police in that lot. And I don't know if anybody knows, we had got a 30-day notice. And they was kicking us out of all the businesses that we own in the lot. And the owner was like, man, I'm so sorry. The district attorney and the police, they putting pressure on us. They said we could lose this property if we don't kick you guys out the lot. I remember this used to be a vacant lot, and people used to be scared to rent the lot. You guys came here, you changed it. People are pulling up. Every lot is rented. And at this point, if you guys still are interested in buying a lot, rather than kick you guys out, we're willing to sell it to you. So at this point, man, we was all broke. Nip had money invested everywhere, and we shook hands and said we do want to buy the lot. We didn't know how we was gonna do it, honestly. And Nip went on a scramble. I went on a scramble, tapped in with JP, the whole team, and I honestly don't know how we did it, but we was able to close and get the lot, and Nip was so proud of that and so happy of that accomplishment. I don't drink, man, but I went ahead and took a shot with bro for that, man. That and when the album came out, just even the Victory Lap album coming out, man, Nip said he was gonna do it, and that was so important for his debut album to finally really come out. And I'm just so happy that the album was able to come out and he was able to do what he said he was gonna do. A lot of people thought coming up and when he first got signed, he was gonna get some money and leave. Like he said, they didn't have a fucking clue. You know what I mean? They had no clue what he really was gonna do. And come on. I want everybody to know, man, Nip put his heart and soul on Crenshaw and Slauson. And we used to talk, we gotta go. We don't know if we're gonna go at 80, 60, 30, or 20. But the one thing is to make sure when you go the right way. You stand up for what you believe in. You put your money where your mouth is. You never fold. You never let the pressure sway you from doing what you want to do. You never let anything, the politics, stop you from coming around and staying around. And I hope everybody knows that that's what bro did. Bro stayed and he died on Crenshaw and Slauson. And everybody who showed love, even the ones who didn't, Nip had nothing but love and respect and humbleness. And that's what I want to leave, man. I love him. And I hope I didn't leave anything out, man.
Please welcome Lauren London.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Angelique Smith.
I just want to say welcome. I couldn't write anything because every time I started writing, I could only write about 3 sentences and then I would get brain freeze. But I want to do something that is very new to me, so you have to give me a minute. Okay, we're gonna start here. Where's Dawit? Dawit, come join me, please.
Samuel Asgadam.
They think they're Sammy. That's not Sammy. That's Dawit Asgado. That's Sammy's dad. That's Ermias' dad. Okay, I know that we are all divine creatures. We are all divinity within. We don't need to look to the sky for a God. God is within. I have perfect peace. I am happy. I am complete. I am strong. And if I can feel this way, so can you. We call on the Creator of everything and on Mother Earth, who sustains us. We call on the energies who guide and protect us as we make our way in life. We call on our ancestors to join us at this service. Joseph Boutet, Reginald Boutet, Augustine Green, John Green,
Askodom, Gabrihet, Gesai, Askodom, Masfin, Askodom, Amleset, Gabrihet, and Alam Beltkin.
And we ask those ancestors. Okay, first of all, I'm supposed to say Ashe. So we called on the ancestors, so say Ashe. And now I pour libations to the ancestors. And we ask those ancestors of Ermias Joseph Asgadom to keep him company on his journey. And we ask them to be there. I would ask that all of our ancestors guide and protect us and give us the gift of perfect peace. I pour libations, Ashe. Okay, I'm new to this, and I think that that's all, but I hope that you get the understanding that we're calling those ancestors into the service. And so we are also asking for Ermias to have safe transit to his final resting place. And so when he reaches his resting place, we are also asking for these ancestors to greet him. We ask that Joseph Boutte, that Reginald Boutte, that Augustine Green, that
Askodom Gabriel, Gazai Askodom, Masfin Askodom, Amlaset Gabriel, and Alam Gabriel.
okay, that they meet him also. Ashe. I want to tell you that I stand a witness that everything is in perfect and divine order. I want to encourage you to choose a vegan lifestyle. I want to encourage you to limit your use of alcoholic beverages and narcotic substances. I want to tell you that we come from royalty and regality. I want to tell you that we are a very loving and kind and spiritual race of people. I want to tell you that we are very traumatized and we are very pressurized people. I want to tell you that I didn't have an easy life. My dad was a functional alcoholic, and since the time I was 5 years old, I had a lot of problems, and I knew that I was witnessing domestic violence, and I promised that I would never do that. I ended up marrying a man who abused me, and everything that damaged me damaged Ermias. I conceived Ermias on my birthday, November the 15th. He was born exactly 9 months to the date after I conceived him. Ermias was so close to me spiritually. I felt him coming. I knew that I was going to get pregnant on my birthday. And I did, and Ermias came. I had not slept for 2 weeks leading up to this event on Sunday. But the Spirit spoke to me on Sunday morning at 5:30 a.m. and had me ask, "Why is your spirit troubled?" My mother called me and told me that she thought that there was a problem at the shop because Samuel had gotten up and run out of the house without saying a word. When I went there, I had perfect peace. When the police officer told me that the person had been shot was Nipsey Hussle, my spirit said, "Oh, that's it." Okay? So I just encourage, I never thought, I started going to an African spiritual science church, and that resonates with me. That resonates with me. It's called Krst, K-R-S-T. You can go online and listen to their archive podcasts, okay? Arius was he had such beautiful energy. He's intelligent, he's radiant, he's a superhero. I'm gonna tell you a story. I was living as a single mother with the boys, and I just thought that I didn't need a man, because I could make my own money. You know, I had bought my own house, because Nana told me you could only move back in with me if you save your money and buy a house. So I learned how to change my oil. And I thought that I was just that woman. And I got the right weight oil. I used the dipstick. I put the oil in the engine. And we drove from 60th and Rimpaw to Slauson, right across the street from Ladera Park near Windsor Flores. And all of a sudden, smoke started coming out of my engine. My engine was on fire because I had forgotten to replace the cap on the oil receptacle. So the oil had spewed out all over my tubing and everything, and my engine was on fire. Do you know that Arius did not hesitate? He was like 8, 9, or 10. He hopped out of the car. He ran all the way down the hill on Slauson in the middle of the street to the intersection of Slauson and La Brea, and there was a fire engine that was making a left-hand turn. The light turned from red to green, but I don't know how little Arius commandeered their attention. They made a U-turn and came back and extinguished my fire. And do you know what? I was able to turn the car on and keep on driving. I didn't need to call AAA. Not a hose was busted. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that that's what I want to tell you guys now, okay? Our engine is on fire now. We're burning, but we're not destroyed. And just lastly, I want to say that Arius was a legacy. I feel as though, you know, when we had our closure conversations, my mother and I are very intuitive. We have a knowing of the coming and the going of death. And so we knew that death was coming to our family. My mother and I, we discussed it many times. So many times that we discussed it in the presence of Khalil. And my mother said that she had been praying that God would take her because she was the last of 9 siblings. Her 4 brothers and her 4 sisters had predeceased her. My father is gone. My brother is gone. My mom said just about all her neighbors have passed on. So she said when she talks to God, she tells him, I've lived a good life. I'm not afraid of death. So whenever you're ready to take me, I'm ready to go. My mother was that was her message. She's a junior pack rat, and I'm a senior. She's a senior pack rat, and I'm a junior pack rat. She's collected so much stuff in her house that her bedroom, you stub your toe just trying to walk from the door to her bed. So she said she's not going to sleep in her bedroom because the paramedics would have too hard of a time getting to her there. So Nana has actually been sleeping on the day bed in her dining room because she thought God was going to answer her prayer and take her first. But that was not God's divine perfect order, you see. He took Ermias. I think of Ermias, and I think that Ermias knew, and we knew too. We knew too. Ermias, he was the kind of person that he was very busy and, had a lot of things going on. And I would text him, and he would answer all of my texts. And I would call him, and he wouldn't answer all of my calls. But all of a sudden, Ermias started texting me, "Hey, Mom, I love you. I'm just sending you some positive energy for your day. I hope that you have a beautiful day." I felt spiritually in my soul as if Ermias was going to leave. And we had closure conversations through text messaging with one another. And I think that Ermias knew too, because Ermias was doing things differently. My mother said that Ermias was going to her house with Imani every morning on the way to drop Imani off at school. And he was bringing Imani a drink. He was bringing my mother a green drink. And then he would tell my mom, "I love you, Granny." And he would give her a kiss, and he would tell her, "If there's anything you need, let me know." And I just told Ermias, I said, "Ermias, let me know." Now, this was a Saturday before he passed. I said, "Ermias, let me know if you need me to pull up on you with some good, nutritious food." And then I wrote salad, and I had a little salad emoji, because he tells me I should open up a salad restaurant. I could kill the game. He loved my salads. And then I just told him my heart, and in my phone, Samuel's telephone number saved under heart. And I said, "My heart feels as if there's possibly heaviness in your heart and soul." And in my phone, Ermias' contact is listed under soul. And Ermias says, "No, Mom, I'm A1. That's what he would always tell me. No matter what was happening, he always told me, "No, Mom, I'm A1," because he didn't want me to worry. Ermias was very stoic, ever since a boy. Pain did not faze him. He took it like a champ, And he says, "I'm grateful. I have a studio again. I'm just happy and ready to work." I'm very proud of my son. My son, Ermias Joseph Askedome, was a great man. On this past Christmas, I drove Ermias to an address on 6th Avenue on the other side of Southwest Drive, just a short distance from my mother's home, to drop him off and pick up some ATV-type vehicles. Ermias was so happy, and he felt so free riding those vehicles up and down 5th Avenue. And he told me, "Mom, this feels so great. I wish that I would have done this sooner." All of the cares of the world were lifted off of him for that moment in time. And his spirit was free, like a little child's spirit, right? Ermias liked thrilling rides at amusement parks. And so I'm not really sad, because Spirit had already prepared me for that which was coming. I wish that Shell gas station would release the videotape of my interaction with the police officer when I went to the shop and he told me that the person who had been shot was Nipsey Hussle. I was in complete composure and total peace, you see, because I had been walking to my spiritual drumbeat that whole weekend. I made my green drink, I made my vegan meal, I made my herbal tea. And I even sat down with my feet up on the chair across from me, and I was talking to my cousin on the telephone. And one of the last things that I said to her is, Belinda, the world that we live in is so wicked and evil. I feel so sad, and I'm so troubled, and it's so very tragic that our children and our grandchildren are inhabiting this type of world. And I told her, I really don't know what the answer is. I really don't know, but I think that the only way to overcome the darkness is to be a light. We have to be the light of change that we want in the world. And then shortly after that, I got off the phone and I went to get dressed and everything. I took my shower, I got dressed, and I was bending down to get the blow dryer and the curling iron out of the bottom cabinet in my bathroom, just like this. I'm standing up. I'm coming in a position of ascension, just as the telephone rang, and it was my mother calling. And when death comes our way, my mother has a certain tone of voice, and it's frightening to me because I know that tone of voice means that death has come. And my mother asked, Angel, are you busy? In that tone of voice. For the first time in my life, that tone of voice did not frighten me. And I told her, oh no, Mommy, I'm not busy. I'm on my way. I'm just standing up from picking up the blow dryer and the curling iron. I'm on my way to your house. And she says, well, something has happened at the shop. You see, I already felt like I was in the right place. I was ascending, okay? I have ascended, okay? You have to find a way to ascend also. And that's all I can say. I just thank you. I feel like when I was a little girl and you would read the story tales that there's a king and there's a castle and there's royalty, and they're having a celebration, and they invite people from lands far apart and wide to come into their kingdom and to celebrate with them. And I just thank you. I'm honored. And I know that if Ermias can look down on us, that he's very honored also. He was very humble. And I'm just glad that the legacy of love that my mother started and that she passed on to me, that I passed on to my son, and since he was in the public arena, that he passed some of the love in his heart into the love that's in your hearts. So let's water the seeds of love that Ermias displayed to you, that you know that you have planted in your heart. Let's water that love and let it grow. And what I was going to say, one last thing, and I'll let you go. I did get a little teary-eyed when I laid down about the third night after Ermias had made his transition. And I started to cry because I was thinking about I can never be in Ermias's electromagnetic ray field. He had an aura around him that if you sat with him, it gave you power and energy. It like filled up your spiritual tank. So that when I left and went to work and whatever, I was in the world for the next week, he had left something with me. And so I'm sad. I was sad that I wouldn't have that anymore. And then I thought about, my son knows the secret to the mystery of life. How thrilling is that? How thrilling is that? He liked thrilling, fast rides, ATVs, and all that. I'm like, how do we move around when we're on the other side in the spiritual realm? I'm sure that Hermes is loving it there. I think it's like a Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It's dark, and I always wanted to get out and get the jewels out of the treasure chest. So when I think of death from the perspective of Hermes, it doesn't hurt, you see, because the ego is what hurts us. So when we can get me, I, my, and mine out of our thinking and think about, what is the other person feeling? What is the other person thinking? What is the other person experiencing? What is the situation all about in its fuller spiritual context? Then it makes the pains that we experience as human beings on the road of life that we travel a lot easier to handle.
So, never was I prepared for anything like this, so bear with me, y'all. Ermias was asleep one morning, and I was watching him because I used to love to just watch him sleep. And I wrote him a text while he was sleeping so that when he woke up, he would read it. And so I'm going to share with you that text, and then I'll go into my little stories about him that were special to me. Ermias, I want you to know that I feel real joy in my heart when I'm around you. I feel safe around you, protected, like a shield over me when you're around. I'm totally myself when I'm with you, which is probably annoying because I don't wear my cool mask anymore. You've made me into more of a woman. You've given me the opportunity to really love a man. You've been with me while I've been sick, through all my fears. You have encouraged me and inspired me to reach higher. I've learned so much about myself with you. You've been my turn-up and my church. I wouldn't want to go through this journey with anyone but you. I look up to you in a lot of ways, and I strive to educate myself more like you have. And when we are at odds, I feel defeated and sad, knowing that we are so much better than that. I just want you to know that you've been the greatest boyfriend to me. You aren't perfect, but I would never ask you to be. You and I work, we fit, and you're the coolest guy in the world to me, still. I love you so much unconditionally. My truth is this: I'm never gonna give up on you. My love and my devotion is to you. And I sent that January 21st, 2019. I had to write something because I've never felt this type of pain before, but I know that God is alive, but bear with me, y'all. His soul was majestic. He was the strongest man that I ever knew, a gentle father, a patient leader, a divine light. He was brilliant. He researched everything, completely self-taught, constantly seeking knowledge. He would go to bed and listen to these audiobooks in his headphones, and I would tease him, but that really is what I thought was the coolest ever about him. And he would wake up in the morning and play music for the kids and light a sage and burn it around the house and just make sure that our energy going outside would be uplifted and that we could handle the day. You know, my pain is for my 2-year-old that probably won't remember how much his dad loved him. This is something that, you know, I don't really understand, but I know that Aramis always used to say that you can't possess people, that you experience them. And I'm so honored and blessed that I got to experience such a man. I know everyone is hurting, but I'd like to say something to my city, Los Angeles. Y'all from LA, stand up. Because this pain is really ours, you know? We know what it meant to us. We lost an incredible soul. We lost someone very rare to us, and we lost a real one. And we won't ever be the same. But in Hussle's words, because he used to always say this, the game is gonna test you, never fold. Stay 10 toes down. It's not on you, it's in you. And what's in you, they can't take away. And he's in all of us. And to Aramis, the love of my life, you know what it is. Grief is the final act of love. My heart hears you. I feel you everywhere. I'm so grateful that I had you. I love you beyond this earth. And until we meet again, the marathon continues.